Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Almost 4 years of Torah every single day, of community every single day. Broadcast 992 of this global community where we have found each other truly from every corner of the world so that we could say, as Valerie just said, Hineni, I am here. We are here. Arlene and Fabrice, Rosa and Barry, Helen and Jill, Julianne, good morning. Penny, it's good to see you, my friend. Jerry, welcome. Boker Tov. Ellen and Chana, Heather, Dale, good morning. Keith and Minna, Andrew and Lydia, Boker Tov. Michelle, good to see you. Good morning, everyone. Anya and Debbie, Cecile, Marilyn, Jonathan, glad you're here, my friend. Linda, it's good to see you, kind soul. Deborah and Rose, Debbie, good morning. Candy, sending love to Pennsylvania. Corinne and Caroline, good morning, friends. Let's take a breath. We'll sing a blessing. We'll learn some Torah. Here we go. Arlene, your brother, is saying hi from Instagram to Facebook. Well, good morning, friends. It's good to see all of you here. Fabrice, you jumped from Facebook to Instagram. I'm loving this. Also, I wanted to say how meaningful this upcoming number is going to be. For me, it's not that 1000 symbolizes something different than the 15th or the 400th time that we came together as a community, but the fact that we together are counting our way to 1000 times that we have joined as a community, which will take place on February 26th. It's a Monday, and I hope that all of you will be present. I just found out, thanks to some planning from some colleagues, there's going to actually be a cameraman here in my home office videoing us broadcasting the 1000th broadcast. It's going to be a little bit surreal, but UJA is going to be marking the community's evolution as we have come together so many times to hold each other up. And so it'll be a little bit strange, but I hope that you'll be present because I certainly can't do this alone. It would be no fun. And there's going to be somebody watching. So hang out on February 26th. I hope that you will be here fully present, that you'll share the word and maybe bring in a few new people so that we can, build Torah. Especially on this 131st day of the war, on this 992nd broadcast. We have been through, as Arlene just said, we have been through so much learning together for almost 4 years. There is so much to say, so much to say. Let's mark today in a few different ways. There's a campaign that the Bring Them Home Now group, the Missing Families and Hostages Forum in Israel, has created a Valentine's Day campaign where the yellow ribbon for hostages and POWs is now in the shape of a heart. If you can find that graphic online, that's something perhaps to share, even if Valentine's Day is not a thing for you. Um, it is certainly a day where love should be in the air, and we send our hearts, our broken hearts, our fiercely pulsing hearts, to all of those who we are waiting for, who we are fighting for. Number two, today is also Ash Wednesday. So for those of us in Christian communities of the Christian faith, this is a day that begins Lent, which is a process of sacrifice that's meant to lead to either metaphoric or literal, depending on your faith, resurrection, which means we have so much ahead of us, no matter our faith, because what we are doing, what we have been doing all of these 992 broadcasts, is coming together in a moment where you can't have everything, but we're creating something magnificent with what we have. That might not be resurrection in the classic sense, but number one, a sacred Lent to anyone who's observing. Number two, a happy Valentine's Day, even if that isn't your holiday, but especially in the way that it is being utilized by the families of hostages, sending love everywhere in the world. All right, that's a lot of preamble, friends. We mark this community by building Torah, by building Torah. This Parsha Terumah has a lot in it about how to build a community of Torah. It's really important. It's really important. What is it to build a community of Torah? Now, we're a desert people in this Parsha, barely liberated. We just received the Torah. What is it to build society? This community, yours and mine, made sacred space out of the computer codes of zeros and ones that, on Facebook and Zoom and Instagram, all these online portals created a chance for us, especially during the pandemic when we began as a community, to find sanctity, to find meaning, to find relationship, to be less alone. So what I would love to share, and that's why I didn't put down my guitar yet, there's a beautiful verse, a very famous verse. It actually adorns many synagogues and many arks, Aron Kodeshes, in synagogues where we hold the Torah. And the verse that's there is straight from this Parsha. It's chapter 25, verse 8 of the book of Exodus. The Hebrew is Vasuli Mikdash V'shachanti B'tocham. And the translation I have in front of me, the JPS translation, says, "Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them." And that really sums up both the paradox and the wisdom of this Parsha as it might relate to our world right now. Because what is it to build a sacred space? Does God need a physical space in which to dwell? I mean, the whole world, Ladonai ha'aretz umloah, this whole world is pervaded by the possibility of God's presence. Some would even say the entire world is pervaded by God's presence, and it's up to us to notice. But as a newly freed people in this Parsha, in Parsha Terumah, called to give of the little that we have to construct the sacred space, and again, think about our story. 4 years ago and today, we feel like we don't have everything we need, but we have something. And we can give of that something to create something even greater, especially when we do it together. So the verse, Vasuli Mikdash V'shachanti B'tocham, make me a holy place and I will dwell among you. You understand, if you listen closely to the words, that it's not build me a sacred place and that's where I will live. That's not what God says in this Parsha. When you focus your resources toward building up this world, when you use what you have to be of service to someone else, when you are wise in your stewardship of communal resources, by which I mean UJA's incredible due diligence when it comes to wielding the strength of our collective community, that is where we will find God. It's not a place. It's in the convening, it's the in-between, it's the relationships that holy actions nurture. It is the recognition that my neighbor's welfare is my obligation. When societies act in this way, the world becomes a beloved community, as Dr. King phrased it. And when they don't, just to point to the hardest part of our world, at least in my eyes right now, when societies don't function like that, They build terror tunnels under hospitals and under UN headquarters. They steal people. They murder people. The opposite of creating sacred space in which God can dwell is dehumanizing someone else. That is a place that actually expels God from a specific location, from a heart. The command in this parsha tells us what the world is supposed to look like. Vasuli mikdash, make this world a temple. V'shachanti b'tocham, and then you will know that I am there. And so to our Christian friends, for whom this is a cycle of sacrifice towards resurrection, when you give of yourself and you see yourself in service of something greater, that is how you give life. It's how you bring life back into the world. We call that God. Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and even those who don't refer to God or believe in God, that is how we build the world, by seeing something that matters beyond the self. When we see that the world does not revolve around me, something beyond the ego, that I am part of a greater we, that's when God dwells among us. Raf, my love, so nice to see you here. My son Raf is here. Mwah. This teaching in the Torah is perhaps the beginning of building the world again. There's a melody that the great Debbie Friedman was commissioned to create from my former community, a group of lovely people in Berkeley, California. She was commissioned when we built our building to set this verse, Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, to music. So she wrote this beautiful, beautiful song. So, in memory of Debbie Friedman, in honor of our ancestors, in solidarity with our family still in harm's way, and as a source of strength to our larger family, by which I mean all of humanity, because only together can we truly recover God in this world. This is Debbie Friedman's melody for Vasuli Mikdash. Oh, 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 V'shachanti b'tocham ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti All right, friends. We have a lot to do. I guess the good news is that we have always had a lot to do. We were in the desert, barely able to imagine that we had become free. We had a lot to do then too. Our ancestors saw that the world was an untenable place for Jews without creating a safe and secure and sacred home. So they knew we had a lot to do. Here we are again, friends. We have a lot to do. Let's take a second before singing Hatikva. Say with me, bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. We do have a lot to do. Let's do it. Let's do it all. Kol hod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia עוד לא עבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, friends. Take care.